Welcome to Maritime with Ezine. My name is Ezine Azuna. We'll be bringing you a new entrant in the maritime industry.
We are getting people to realize that maritime does not start and end with the seas.
We'll be looking at the very important transport document.
85% of the Earth's surface is water.
ABC of shipping is the first port of call because that gives you the whole knowledge of what to see.
Nothing done by man is perfect. You can't give 100% where goods are cleared out of customs control.
The key job of customs anywhere in the world is trade facilitation, not revenue drive.
Welcome to Maritime with Ezine. I'm your host, Ezine Azuna, and joining me on the show today is Mrs. Margret Orakwusi. She is a chairperson, NACCIMA Maritime Trade Group. Welcome to Maritime with Ezine, ma'am. It's our pleasure having you on set. And by the way, you look beautiful. You look very beautiful. Welcome,
Thank you very much, Ezine. I must congratulate you and the Maritime Television crew.
Thank you, ma'am.
For what you are doing, promoting all the industry activities.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you're reaching a lot of people.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate. So today on the show, you wear a lot of hats in the industry. You're a role model to a lot of people, but our focus today is on what you do at NACCIMA, the National Association of Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture, the Maritime Trade Group. As a chairperson, what is the Maritime Trade Group at NACCIMA all about?
To start with, it's a new trade group in NACCIMA. Okay. It was inaugurated during the presidency of Iyalode Alaba Lawson. And it's actually a plus because the activities and contributions of the maritime sector to the economy of Nigeria is being recognized. What do? We are the trade group in such a big association that deals with maritime business, maritime activities, trying to expose the potentials in maritime and lending our voice to what is going on in terms of development of new businesses and trying to drive the economy. And that's what we do.
Okay. For a lot of people, in the industry, it's almost like we've dwelt on potential for long. People now want to see us, advance, from one stage to the other. So you mentioned potential. What areas in particular, and is there any effort at pushing it forward?
We are pushing it forward. We play a lot of roles. In maritime, when you say maritime, people don't understand what you are talking about. The level of literacy is quite low. So we are getting people to realize that maritime does not start and end with the seas. There are so many activities going on ashore, and then to also expose all the things you can harvest out there in the sea, in the waters. When you talk in terms of maritime, you're talking in terms of fishing, you're talking in terms of maritime transportation, movement of goods, movement of people, and we are lucky, we are, should I just say, a coastal country. So what that means is where some countries, landlocked countries, have only 2-3 modes of transportation, we are blessed with our waters. And we need to develop the maritime transportation. We play big when it comes to shipments. We all know that most of the items we consume in this country come in through maritime transportation, through ships. We also rely heavily on our exports. For instance, our crude oil is being exported But the question is, do we partake in the freighting of this? Do we add value to the crude? And the answer is no. So we are calling attention to that. We generate cargo. We end up not participating in the freighting of the cargo. And not just that. Insurance companies are being affected, banks, other services like legal services, because if you allow the buyer dictate terms of movement of the good, and I dare say that this is one of the few countries that allow that, because what is in vogue is if you generate cargo, you participate in the freighting, So we are calling attention to that.
That's movement from the trade terms, right?
Yes,
Moving from the free on board to the CIF.
Yes, we need to really do that. You can't just be exporting as it is without adding value.
Sure.
When you talk in terms of value addition, that's what it's all about.
All right, let's talk about where you have a strong niche in, and that's fishing. You do the trolley business, and for a very long time, Nigeria dwindled in terms of revenue from that area. And I know a lot of people have spoken around issues of security causing it at sea, but as a practitioner, as an operator, could you let us into what happened? Take us down the memory lane. What happened from where fishing became the second best earner for Nigeria to where it's no more on our platform, economically speaking?
Well, the issue of security plays a big role in what we do. We are out there in the high sea fishing, and if you don't have protection, what do? If you cry and nobody's coming to assist you, what then do you do? So the issue of piracy heavily affects us. And by the sheer form of what we do, trawling, because when the vessel is trawling, they let out their outriggers. So when the pirates are coming, you have little or no chance to gather it and then run. So we are most vulnerable to all these attacks. If anything, the attacks have gone regional. And when I do talk about it, I say if the pirates, the criminals, can come together for a cause, why can't we in the region also team up and fight this?
Now no, it's okay, ma'am. But the Deep Blue project by the present administration may just be encouraging. I'll have you talk about that, but not after we go on a break, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
So let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
We should also think about that safety arm. The agencies must be up and doing.
Welcome back. It's still Maritime with Ezine, and our guest remains the delectable Margret Orakwusi. Barrister Margret Orakwusi is the chairperson, NACCIMA Maritime Trade Group. So, Madam, before we went on the break, we were talking about security, the Deep Blue project, and how it's encouraging. It may be encouraging. I'd like you to speak to the project and what expectations you have, for it, given your place in the fisheries sector.
Yeah, it is very encouraging. One of the things I've always advocated for is to have a force that would challenge the activities of these pirates, of these criminals. So, whereas before it's been, we are the masters of the sea. Now we are having a well-coordinated force coming to challenge what they are doing, and this force is coming with fast crafts, whether it's land, whether it's sea and air. So we can't have it any better. Usually some people say they come from the creek, but the fact still remains they just don't drop from the skies. They launch their attacks from somewhere. And we now have, or we hope to have, very fast crafts that would pursue them to wherever. So it is very encouraging, and it will probably make a lot of people return to start trading again in the sea.
Wow. So can you also speak to maritime, or sorry, safety in
Yes.
the area of fishing too?
Not just
And
fishing,
vessel-
safety in our waters.
Okay.
You know, everybody seems to be consumed in security, but safety is equally important. Safety of lives, safety of assets, and safety for everything we do. You know, a situation why a vessel needs attention, a vessel is giving distress call, nobody picks it up, nobody just goes to rescue the vessel. It's not encouraging. We've all had personal experiences. We've had a situation, I'll just give one example. Sometime in December, I had a vessel under distress. It was a foreign ship that was going on its own way, that picked up the distress call and then managed to rescue the vessel, brought it very close to our waters, and the problem now became who is now going to take over and bring them in.
But we have
I'm
such a
talking
rescue
exactly.
arm of NACCIMA.
That's doing nothing. I'm talking in terms of 13, 14 lives on board a vessel. I'm not even going to scream about the value of the equipment.
In a lot of areas, you know, industry operators have called for tax holidays, you know, that one of the ways government should encourage the maritime industry, which is expected to give the oil and gas sector a good run, you know, is through tax holidays for operators. I'd like you to lend a voice to that call. Is it something we should actually pursue, or are we good as we are?
No. Not just tax holidays. We have to also look at the cost of funding in the country. Maritime is an international business. You are competing with people from other countries, you know. So you can do the arithmetic. It doesn't take time. If Margret would take a loan from Nigeria at such an exorbitant cost, ranging from 10 to 20%, how do you expect me to compete with foreigners
single digits?
Not just single digits, very low single digits, 1 or 2%.
Wow.
Already I have failed, you know, and they enjoy tax holidays. You know, it's amazing that we don't get it. Some people are allowed free of tax to operate 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And you know why? Because the ship, the lifespan of a ship, well maintained, is over 40 years.
Yeah.
But in this country, they want you to pay 20% and then repay the loan in 5, 7 years.
How do you cope with the customs duty, for instance, on vessels?
You know, when people say, why have you not diverted your vessels to another country? I say, because I'm patriotic. We have to make it work. We don't have any other country but Nigeria. Identify the problems and shout until it is fixed.
Thank you very much for being with us,
And
ma'am.
thank you, Ezine. And you are one of us, and one of the few we are very proud of.
Thank you, ma'am.
Continue
Thank you, ma'am.
to expose the industry.
Thank you, ma'am.
And more investors will surely come.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That's about all we can take on this episode of Maritime with Ezine. Our guest today has been Barrister Margret Orakwusi, the Chairperson, NACCIMA Maritime Trade Group. I'm sure you had a lot to learn. And so until we come again your way next time, do stay blessed.